Today on Fly Rod Chronicles, we're back on the Deschutes River in Oregon with gourmet fly fishing and legendary guide Mike McLucas. Come along as the Dean of the Deschutes shares 40 years of knowledge and puts us on some strong, wild red sides.
It's a life that I love.
We're on Little River, and right there is what she's about, boys.
Am I happy? Look at that! Welcome to Alaska! Woo-hoo, look at that! There he goes, Steve! Look at that, baby! Yeah! That's bigger than Dollywood! That is incredible, isn't it?
Hey, I'm Curtis Fleming. Come along on my journey as I pursue my lifetime passion for the art of fly fishing. Join my friends, special guests, and I as we explore waters both far away and close to home. These are my Fly Rod Chronicles. Sam, Douglas, and I arrived at the river, and my host at Gourmet Fly Fishing introduced me to local guiding legend, Mike McLucas.
And we got the Dean of the Deschutes. Is that the nickname?
That's what I've heard.
Huh? Mike, is that your nickname?
No, I've been called that, but I've been called a lot of things. You can call me anything but late for one of these gourmet meals, if that's okay.
I hear the meals are pretty good.
I hear they are too. This will be my first chance to try them, but I'd like to give her a try.
Well, I know Gourmet Fly Fishing is very excited about having you, and we really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us.
I'm looking forward to it. I think this ought to be a fascinating trip. Okay. I really do.
So
it's always fun to show people who haven't been here before,
yeah,
because it's a unique ecosystem, and it's got a lot of fun in it. Okay. Fishing and boating.
Well, we're going to be leaning on you, and we're going to be asking you a lot of questions, and I understand you've done this for a couple years.
Yeah, between 30 and 40, and nobody knows for sure.
Between, that's deep.
You know, numbers don't stick with me. I don't count things.
Okay, all right. So you come
out. A long time ago I started.
So you come out of retirement for Fly Rod Chronicles?
Yeah, well, you see, Mark is my son-in-law.
Okay, gotcha.
And he got a hold of me. He told me what was shaping up, and when he said Nashville, songwriter, music, and musicians, I mean, he had me.
He had you, huh?
He didn't have to say another thing. He had me.
Well, here in a little while, you'll be sitting by camp listening to some good music. How's that sound?
I'm looking forward to that.
All right. Well, we'll just call you the Dean then. All right?
That makes me feel a little bit foolish.
Thank you very much, Mike.
There were people ahead of me that really were Deans of the Deschutes. I just happened to step in after them and live a little longer than some.
Well, thanks for having us.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
looking forward to the whole thing.
All right. Oh, good fish! Oh, yeah! That's a beast!
That is a dandy.
Oh, thank you so much.
I don't think you're going to find a more colorful fish anywhere.
Oh, yeah. What a beautiful fish. All right, come on over here. Set this down. Wow.
They're muscular and they're fighting current.
How many years have you been on the river?
Over 40, I guess. I don't count. You get to my age, numbers are not something you want to think about.
Here's my good buddy from Nashville, Sam Tate, as he hooks into this red side after getting some advice from the Dean.
I'm gonna go get another one,
Okay, I wish you'd do that.
That downstream drift with the throwing the S-curves in it
Yep.
seems to work fairly well for me.
That's an old McKenzie River trick called a refloat.
A refloat.
Yeah. You're up above and in many cases got nowhere else to go to get to where you want to fish, so you jerk a little slack in it, wiggle the line out and let it drift as long as it'll go.
There he goes. Good call, David. Good call. Oh, look at that. I love it. Oh, man. That's beautiful.
He's going to grow an inch a month.
An inch a month. Very cool. We'll take that. Very cool, man. Thank you, David. That was so cool. You're back, baby. Get back into the Deschutes.
With the abundance of insect life, I asked Mike why there weren't more large rainbows in the Deschutes.
That's a darn good question, because we obviously have lots of space, lots of food, and people very commonly want to know why are not more big fish here? There's obviously, you know, food and place for them, but they're not here. The answer is sort of twofold. Number one, because of the richness of the environment of the river, our fish reach an early spawning maturity. Now what that means is they'll start spawning at 9, 10, 11 inches long. They're incapable of doing any good, but they still try. The fish that you want is, and the fish that makes more big fish, is a fish that spawns every other year or every third year, because that fish is going to give you progeny that hopefully are disposed to do the same thing. The bottom line is that any year in which a fish in this river chooses to spawn, he will get no incremental growth, none whatsoever. Every bit of metabolism and fat and protein in the body that would go into making more fish is going into making sex products, the eggs or the milk. So anytime you have a fish that spawns, he will remain the same size till the next year. And if he spawns again, he'll remain that same size. And you can get a fish that will live its full lifespan, which is probably between 6 and 7 years, and die a fully mature fish who spawned every year at maybe 12 inches long. If you took the same fish and put it in a slack water body like in a lake, it'd grow to 25 or 30 pounds. It might live 15 or 20 years. But here in this environment, because of the amount of activity they have to go through every day to catch food, they wear themselves out metabolically, and they'll die probably at 6 or 7 years of age. So therein lies the reason why we don't have a lot more big fish. They only got 6 or 7 years to get it done in, and if they choose to spawn regularly through that 6 or 7 years, they'll never be big.
Small though. Another small one. Sort of. What's that?
It's harder to catch a smaller fish than it is a bigger one. Their mouth is smaller.
Here's my good friend Douglas with the perfect hook set.
Here, let you. Oh yeah. Nice fish. Nice fish. Oh, look at that fish. Oh man, that's a nice one. Oh yeah. Oh, that tail's breaking the water. That's what it's all about on the Deschutes. Oh yeah. Well, sometimes you get a whitefish. Thought it was a big red side. Still fought pretty good though. That might have been an award-winning whitefish.
The Riverside Lunches gave us the opportunity to relax and share fish tales.
That was just
Nothing else like that, is it?
It
When
was
that
killer.
fish just sucks that fly down,
It was just wonderful.
takes off on that run.
We
Oh,
got into a pretty good caddis hatch there on that last riffle that we were on.
seemed to be coming on.
And they were coming off actually, and we were actually getting quite a few hookups. We weren't landing many fish. They'd take off and head out to deep water. But we're fishing, you know, barbless, and just, I think that we don't have much of a hook.
Yeah. These fish are smart.
Yeah, they can
fight
unhook
hard.
themselves, can't they?
They sure can. Cast, I've been trying to get this fish out from underneath of a tree all morning. We'd given up on him, cast around, finally go back to that tree. Last cast before we go, I hook it on the limb, flies dangling in the water. Flies out of there, takes that fly, rips it out of the branch, shoots out into the river. Unreal. Beautiful, beautiful red side. What a fish. Doesn't get any better than this.
The fast-moving water and plentiful food make these strong red sides fight like fish twice their size.
That is a good after-lunch fish right there. Ooh, got a runner too. We got a track star out here at the Deschutes. All right, that is so cool. Let's get him back in there. You want the slimy hand or the dry one? We're fine. Let's get another fish. I love that attitude. Yes. And he's on the reel. Oh, come on, big Kerns. Look at him. Oh, he's going for a ride. See, we had lunch and here it comes, baby. Good old bacon sandwich and he is off to the races. You give me a bacon sandwich and a Snickers and it's over. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, he's a fighter. Oh, that is pretty. Same fly, same channel. Stay tuned in here, Fly Rod Chronicles, because we just got started after lunch here in the Deschutes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. You guys, it was the neatest thing, Steve. The Dean, and you'll see this, he's showing me a technique how to beat the wind, how to drive the fly down. And as he's showing me, he's like, Curtis, now do it like this. And then he, oh, fish. And then it's like giving it to your son. He hands the rod off to me and lets me reel it in. And I could tell he's feeling all bad about it. And you really were.
I was. The rod handoff was like this. I'm looking the other way and just giving it to him because I didn't want to hook it.
And he's apologizing. And so after he apologizes, I go up and catch one right above it.
A nicer, much nicer fish.
It was a much nicer. And had two hogs to get off. Classic, just classic takes. And I got a little excited, didn't I?
I hope so. If you didn't get excited over something like that, we stay home and play canasta.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, that is a hog. That is a hog. That is a hog. Play that puppy soft because after jerking it off that grass, we could have weakened some knots. So play that puppy soft.
Oh my!
That was a hog, a pig.
We did what? Hey.
If that wasn't 16 inches, I'll eat your hat.
That was fun. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Hey Sam, how old were you when you wrote your first song?
I was about 16. I think I was around 16 or 17. And I'd piddled around with it for a while. And because I'd always played music since I was a kid. And I wrote this song called Country Boy. And I'll never forget it because I wrote it and I played it. I had a little garage band, like a 16-year-old playing in a garage. And I played this song at an amusement park private party. Well, some guy heard it and he said, "Did you write that?" I said, "Yes, I did." And he said, "Well, I've got this girl that I'm working with. Could she record it?" And I thought, whoa, this is pretty interesting. So she actually went to Norman Petty's studio in Clovis, New Mexico, and I got to go. And I actually met Norman Petty, who produced all of the Buddy Holly stuff. And I got to go in and watch them record my song at 17. Cool. So, at 16, I think. But the thing that was amazing about it was I realized, this is what I want to do. So I've always thought, you can get other people to sing your stuff. It's the funnest thing in the world, is to listen to other people do it. So,
writing songs and fly fishing, that's what it's about, isn't it?
That's it. Writing songs and fly fishing. Actually, my songwriting supports my fly fishing habit. And that's absolutely the truth. I write songs so that I can do this.
That's cool.
Fortunately for us, Sam brought along his favorite guitar from Nashville and spent the evenings strumming out a few of his many hits.
She runs on female standard time. Change your clothes or two behind. At times I think she fell earth. Dance around on my last nerve. But oh, when she smiles, it sure can drive the soul heart wild. She's an angel, and then she ain't. She's a complicated picture no more man could paint. A little wild, a little bold, a woman child who's hard to hold. She likes to drive me crazy, but man, I love her. And you can't have one without the other.
We coaxed the Dean into joining Sam and Mark for an old classic.
Well, let me tell you all the story of a man named Charlie on a tragic and fateful day. He put 10 cents in his pocket, kissed his wife and family, went to ride on the MTA. Will he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever beneath the streets of Boston. He's the man that never returned. Now all night long, Charlie rides through the station crying, what will become of me? How can I afford to see my sister in Chelsea or my cousin in Roxbury? Will he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever beneath the streets of Boston. He's a man who never returned. Charlie's wife comes down to the Kendall Square station every day at 2:15. And through the open window she hands Charlie a sandwich as the train comes rumbling through. Will he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever beneath the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned. Now you citizens of Boston, don't you think it's a scandal how the people have to pay and pay? Fight the fare increase, vote for George O'Brien, get poor Charlie off that MTA. Will he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever beneath the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned. Good night, Charlie.
That is right.
I'm liking it. Sit down and, look right across the top of the water. Look up toward the bridge and just see all the bugs in the air. We have aquatic insects. That's what fish eat. And we've got a nice supply. I'm liking it. And it's a mixture of caddis, a few mayflies, and some little tiny devils called Chronicles.
Sitting back, listening to Sam Tate sing, and the Dean of the Deschutes singing, and Mark singing and picking, and seeing your family sitting around there. It was just like, I didn't want it to end.
It was pretty awesome.
It was midnight, and I was just sitting there going, God, let this last forever. This has got to be what heaven's about. It's incredible.
It is a rare privilege to spend just one day doing something you love in a place as beautiful as the high desert canyons of the Deschutes River, and rare still to generously share that experience with others. Mike McLucas has done it for over 40 years. Thanks for watching Fly Rod Chronicles.